What is up, back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this one will be my honest thoughts on the WWE Draft 2024 Part 1, Night 1, SmackDown Edition, whatever way makes sense for your brain. And this is not going to be like a SmackDown review, just picks going over like who got picked, I should say, for each round. And yeah, let's get going with round number 1. SmackDown went first. They picked Bianca Belair. Jey Uso went number 2. Carmelo Hayes went number 3. Seth Rollins went number 4. And that's it for round number 1. Bianca on SmackDown, I mean this in a good way. She just feels like a SmackDown person. Like, back in my day, as weird as that might sound, it's like Rey Mysterio and Undertaker felt like SmackDown guys. Bianca Belair just, I don't know for sure fits better on SmackDown, but whenever I think of SmackDown Women's Division, she's what I think of. Jey Uso on Raw makes sense. Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown, again, makes sense. He's done and finished with NXT developmental, got called up, called over, whatever way you would want to look at it. And similar to Bianca Belair, or Jey Uso, I apologize, him on SmackDown just makes sense. And I think it's tonight actually, it's him versus Cody Rhodes. Good showing, I would say. And then Seth Rollins, similar to Bianca Belair earlier, he just fits better on Raw than SmackDown for myself personally. Beginning with round number 2, you had Randy Orton drafted to SmackDown, Braun Breaker on Raw, Nia Jax on SmackDown, Liv Morgan on Raw, and it's going to be all the photos from each round recap would be on the screen. Randy Orton, it's whatever. I'm just happy to see him wrestle. Braun Breaker, I would have preferred him on SmackDown than Raw, but I can understand why he would be on Raw with Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown kind of deal, because those two guys were like the two pillars, so to speak, for NXT. Having them on separate brands for right now makes sense. Nia Jax, whatever. Liv Morgan, again, like, I like Liv Morgan in the ring, on the mic, and all of that stuff. It's just, it just, again, makes more sense for her on Raw, and all of that fun stuff. Round number 3, SmackDown drafted LA Knight. Raw has Ricochet. Bloodline goes to SmackDown, or I guess stays on SmackDown. Sheamus goes on Raw. LA Knight, Ricochet, to me are whatever. I did videos talking about them before. Not bad in the ring, just not my cup of tea. Bloodline, Tama Tonga, I know that he's still new in WWE, but would not mind seeing more of him, and that's more of a me thing than a Bloodline, not Sheamus, I'll get to him in a moment. Bloodline, SmackDown, Tama Tonga deal. Sheamus on Raw, I'm just happy that he's back. I missed him the 8 months or so that he was away. And whether he went to Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, just want to see more of him, kind of deal. Might even have to tune into Raw more regularly outside of the Canadian shows, or shows in Canada, I should say, and whatnot. But yeah, that's it for round 3. We then got the 4th and final round for the SmackDown edition. AJ Styles to SmackDown, Alpha Academy to Raw, Andrade to SmackDown, Kiana James to Raw. AJ Styles to SmackDown makes sense. He's #1 contender for next weekend's pay-per-view, Backlash, I think it is, against Cody Rhodes, who's the SmackDown champion. Alpha Academy, all 4 members, Otis, Chad Gable, Maxine Dupree, and Akira Tozawa. I, granted, did not watch Raw this past week, but my impression was that they broke up, so I obviously was mistaken about it. Andrade to SmackDown kind of makes sense. Preferred him on SmackDown than Raw. He wasn't really doing much, so him on SmackDown's gotta be better, I would think. And to me, biggest surprise of the 4 rounds, Kiana James to Raw. She had, for the last, I would say, 2 years, got a lot better, obviously, in the ring, but nothing against her. I would have had her in NXT for another a couple of months until at least after SummerSlam, before Survivor Series time period, and I think that I don't know for sure, but I think she would work better on Raw than she would on SmackDown, just based off what I've seen for her on NXT. So those are my initial reactions, thoughts on the 4-round, 16 different people, technically more than that, but you know what I mean, that got drafted to the respective brands. And for whatever reason, I thought NXT was a part of this, like SmackDown, Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, so on and so on kind of deal, but I was obviously wrong. Again, I haven't been paying too much attention to the draft before this, but yeah, would love to know what your thoughts are on this down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly, hope you guys are doing well mentally, emotionally, and physically.
The world that we tend to make up is nothing but a fantasy until you wake up. I feel like I'm just lying to myself, yeah. Cause I just crossed the line like I'm playing offside. I do it how I want and I'ma do it till I die. Feel like I'm just lying to myself, but it's